Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MLG Play-In Tournament here at the MLG Studio in New York City. Golden Boy and Maze here, bringing you the action now. We jumped into the game a little bit later, so we ended up missing the first side of that Dom game. But the score right now is currently plus 23 in favor of ErupT. Big performances out of Perplexed. For ErupT. On the other side, Flawless, doing what Flawless does best, which is just own. He had a great showing there for himself as well, but it just was not enough as the score was 88-65. Again, plus 23-point lead for ErupT.
And that's a very nice lead there by those boys from ErupT. And they're going up against a very talented team in Vanquish as well.
Yeah.
And I've got bad news for you, Golden Boy. I am not in the game, so...
No, I'm not either, so don't worry about it.
Okay,
we're good.
just making
We're good.
Sure.
And I found out we're hopping into this one midway through, so
okay.
I don't know who's up 2-1, but I'm sure Ron will get me that in a little bit there. Currently, it is 2-1 as we were going into the fourth game, which is domination. And if ErupT wins this one, I mean, again, it's all a toss-up because we're not entirely sure. Waiting for our great admins there to connect us, so this way we can know what's going on. But yeah, some things to point out. I was surfing through Reddit, seeing what people were talking about, and a lot of people were saying this ErupT team. They would like to see them make their way over to the finals. Actually, one player that they talked about in particular was Zuma, who is an incredible search and destroy player, an S&D star, but maybe not the best when it comes to respawn. So interesting stuff there, for sure.
It is interesting stuff there, and that roster is actually a pretty balanced one. It's unfortunate that he hasn't gotten his niche down with those spawning game types, but S&D, he does play that well. And Perplexed is one that's very good on both S&D and also on those spawning game types as well. So the complementary gameplay styles are there. They just got to make sure that if they want to get to those finals, that they get on the same page and get there quickly. But so far, seems that it's working out quite well for them as they seem to be doing a good job on that domination that is currently off stream. But just phenomenal stuff to be able to see ErupT playing so well. And Vanquish, funny thing about this is that at one point, Perfect Alliance was actually one of the sponsors for Vanquish when they actually went and won Dallas. So
that's right, but that was a completely different Vanquish game. I think
roster,
the only one that was there was John, I believe.
Yes.
I could be wrong.
I
John.
believe that John was on that roster.
It was
yes,
a while ago. It was not that long ago, but it feels like it was forever ago. Does that make sense? Like
it does, because COD years are very, very different. That's what I call it. So
if a player's on a team for 6 months, that's like, oh my goodness, he's
20 years
complexity.
in COD years.
Those three guys have been a team since Black Ops 2. Like that's a long time.
That's a decade in COD years.
It's a decade. It is a legitimate decade. I 100% agree with you there. So we're waiting. We're waiting. Unfortunately, waiting for an invite into this matchup here. And it seems like I ended up getting one from my boy Spacely. Of course, Spacely, if you guys aren't familiar with him, the kid's a beast. He's an animal.
Absolute animal.
I think this year he makes his way to go to Champs. Not entirely certain here. I'm going to send you an invite as well, Maze, just so that this way you can get it. But yeah, I mean, you're just an incredible player there and definitely someone to look out for. So let me find you. There you go. Invite into game. And you are now in there with me. So when you hop in, we should get this one going. Again, guys, plus 23. Ron has to update me on who is up 2-1. Ron, get on that. You guys don't know. He yelled at me saying he was working on it, but you got to work quicker.
Ronald. We love Ronald. He's one of the best production guys you could ever have. He really is.
Terrible. Does absolutely nothing for the community. No, I'm kidding. He's a great guy. Without Ron, I don't even think we would have a show. So, but of course, big shout out to everyone in the back and here at MLG and everyone doing great stuff, as well as yourself, Maze, for joining me here for this broadcast. Initially, Mr. X was supposed to join me, but he sold his 360. And I'm really mad at him. It's like he broke my heart a little bit.
He did break your heart a little bit, but he made my day. So thank you, Mr.
It's fine,
X, for that.
Like for one negative comes a great positive, right?
That is correct.
I think that's always a joy. So it seems like this match is going to begin here in about a minute time. Again, plus 23-point lead for ErupT, and Ron is quote unquote working on it when it comes to finding out who's up right now in the series 2-1. So we're just going to call the action like we see it. And I actually want to kick it off here with Perplexed from ErupT because, you know, I mean, dude went off on that first side and was a big factor in the team, you know, coming out strong. So yeah, and you seem to know a little bit of. Have you casted these guys before on PA?
I have casted many matches actually with Perplexed under that roster, and it's funny. One of my casting buddies there would always call Perplexed because his gamer tag is very mixed match. It looks like a license plate number, so we would call him a license plate whenever we wouldn't be able to say it quickly enough. But Perplexed is a phenomenal player.
License plate. That's cool. So tell me a little bit about this ErupT roster, because I know all about the boys in Vanquish, but I don't know that much about these guys. I mean, I've known Vex. I've seen Vex before. But what are some of their strengths and weaknesses?
Well, Legal is really a good objective player for his team. Unfortunately, he does get picked off right off the bat, but Perplexed is the guy that you will be seeing an aggressive role with that AR, and he is just very, very dominant with that assault rifle, and he was also dominant with it in Black Ops 2 as well. So he's made a very beautiful transition to Ghost, and it's just really a good player there. But right now, it's just an even game right here, but they're getting outslayed off the bat here, and it's just the boys from Vanquish that are getting on the board here with the kills.
Yeah, I mean, but you see actually all four down. Perplexed, Vex, and Zuma left alive here as Heist is going to come off of the respawn, and I'm actually quite surprised that that actually happened there, but it seems like ErupT's able to get control here of B. They hold their home flag A. There's going to be a player sweeping around the corner, though, but Legal, he's going to find two, and he's going to get taken out by Heist. Now Zuma, as he looks over by B, but that flip already happened in favor of Vanquish now. None of them actually have their name there, so I got to refer to that again. But yeah, so it seems like Vanquish able to get that control, though. And now look at this, the veterans just continuing to flood around this ErupT team. But Legal, great read out of him, pushing over to that Vanquish home flag.
Yeah, and like I said, very aggressive player when it comes to that objective, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's not only going for a neutralization, but actually going to pick that flag up, and that's exactly what you want to be able to see. And Golden Boy, here's something that really will be able to tell who is going to be victorious here. Those overextensions and those decoy flag captures are going to play a huge role in map control here on Frame.
I'm actually quite surprised that ErupT was not able to make anything happen with that one. But there is going to be 3 players pinned there to the bottom left of the map, so Illegal needs to be wary of this. There is actually going to be a player pushed up on C, and I got to give credit there. That was Legal. Again, got to give him credit because, you know, when you push up like that, that aggressive, off of the respawn, you have 2 bodies that are going to turn around and try and get their flag back. That gave him that opportunity to go after B. I really like what I'm seeing here domination-wise, or in this game, and how ErupT plays domination. It's a very frustrating approach. I would be frustrated if I was playing against this team.
Absolutely, and now Perplexed, he can also run an SMG with the best of them, and that's exactly what he's doing on the back of Lumber here, just wrecking havoc on that Charlie flag, and now he's going to have a teammate go ahead and neutralize it. That's Zuma that is going to start picking up that flag once again for his team. So they're going to have that Charlie Bravo split. Now the question is, can they defend Bravo effectively?
Yeah, and bear in mind, this is a loser semi, so the winner of this will go on to face off against Vex in our winner semifinals, which is actually going to be coming up next. And ErupT is up 2-1 in the series. So they are poised for victory here with 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock, plus 23 on their side as well. I mean, this definitely seems like ErupT is ready. They're prepared for this, and I like this team. This is a scrappy team of individuals that definitely know how to play in-your-face Smash Mouth Call of Duty. It's pretty good.
That's absolutely right. I love the way that they play because they play like an amateur, top amateur team, but man, they've got the gun skill of those pros. That's what they're doing. And right now, they find themselves with a very narrow lead here. 54-51, minute 20 seconds left. And here's the strategy again. Those OEs and those decoy flag captures are in full effect.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, Illegal is going to be pushing up on Red, finding 1 player. He's going to have 1 player with him as well. That's actually going to be Vex, and they know that they have to apply that pressure in the mid and continue to maintain control by B. And at this point, they don't necessarily need to push up in the home flag.
Yeah.
So long as they could just keep on holding them off like this for the next, like, 20 seconds, they would pretty much sail away with this victory. Because, again, they have that plus 23 lead, but legal. You know, and I have to wonder, is it worth pushing up like this? Maybe it is, right? Because you're going to get at least one body that's going to push up, and now you end up losing one player in the mid. So if his teammates are able to push up, which Perplex, my goodness, my friend, with the shooting of the bodies there, you know, it seems like they managed to hold this one down really, really well, and a big shout out to this team. On the other side, though, it just seemed as if Vanquish did not have their bearings together, and ErupT came prepared for this match.
Yeah, they just were not expecting the aggression by ErupT, and that's exactly what they were doing so well. And now they're piling on those points, and they're going to really be able to have a nice sizable lead here because, you know, it's mathematically impossible. It was mathematically impossible a while ago, and now they will take this victory here on this series. And guess what? 3-1. They're moving on here, and they're going to be playing Vex very soon. So very good
next,
place.
as a matter of fact. Up next.
That's right.
I'm excited to see that game because Vex, you know, again, you got Huddle, Slack, Saint, as well as Pluto. Again, 4 players that are very well versed and have been around the scene and teamed with some top players at one point or another, now finding their way together. This could be a great matchup here. ErupT, I like this. I like this team. Legal, getting in your face, going in, capping those back flags on you, not expecting it, forcing you to send 2 bodies back there to have to deal with the problem, thus giving the other team or ErupT the opportunity to continue to maintain control on B. Love that kind of stuff. And then Perplex, 15-11, 4 caps as well, but an aggressive player too. And I haven't seen Zuma yet in his comfort zone with Search and Destroy, but when you talk about Vex though, it's going to be a tall order for ErupT there because Vex, they played against a very talented team in AOX, having just come off of an amazing run at COD Champs. It's going to be a matchup. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a hell of a matchup, and I agree with you there. I mean, ErupT, very aggressive, but remember, Vex is very calculated. They let the other teams really play to their strengths, and then they just they exploit their weaknesses, and they do that in game, and they do it very effectively, and that's why they really did well against AOX. And now, you know, ErupT better watch out, but they're looking good going into this one.
Yeah, oh no, they certainly are looking great. It is going to come down to 2 players for me. It's going to come down to Legal, and it's going to come down to Perplexed, hands down. You know, I haven't seen Zuma much in S&D just yet, and I know we're forgetting a little bit about Vex there, but still, Legal kind of just made a statement for me watching him play. He gets in your face. You don't expect that to happen. He does it a lot. I want to see how this team operates on Strike Zone as well. If we end up playing a Strike Zone, can they hang with the raw slaying power of Huddle, Slack, and Saint? That's going to be an interesting battle, to say the least. But, guys, we're going to go to a break. Hopefully not a long break. I was going to say quick break, but last time happened pretty long, so you never know in this world. I don't want to lie to you guys. So we're going to go to a break. When we come back, it is going to be the winner finals, between ErupT and Vex. It's going to be a good one, and you're not going to want to miss it here on MLG.TV for the MLG Play-In Tournament. I'm Golden Boy. That's Maze. We'll be right back.